All right, and we are live. So, markets are just edging a little bit higher, kind of undecided because this week it's a triple whammy. We do have presidential election in the US. We do have the Fed meeting this week, and we have still a lot of earnings coming in. More than 20% of the S&P 500 companies are reporting earnings this week. So, there's a lot going on. And then also news from Berkshire Hathaway and Warren Buffett. And we'll take a look at what happens there. And big news from Nvidia this morning. So, with that said, let's get started. And this is the show, Coffee with Markus and Mark. And today's Monday, November the 4th. And in this show, we are going to talk to you about what's happening in the markets and how we are trading it. And boy, Mark, it seems to be a battle around the 50-day moving average in the S&P 500.
Looks like it, Marcus. On Thursday last week, we pulled back and closed right at that level. And then a little bit of a pop on Friday. It looked like traders were buying, although we pulled back and ended up near session lows. It was still a win. And then this morning, kissing that 50-day moving average again.
Wow, because it is a busy week. I mean, if we hop over to our calendars, I mean, first of all, the big one this week, tomorrow, we do have the presidential election here in the US. And boy, it is a close race. So, this is what's happening tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we have the Fed statement. This time on Thursday, because the Fed meeting starts on Wednesday due to the presidential election. So it's a day shifted, but these are the two biggies for this week.
Yeah, I mean, super busy week, and we knew that last week and this week, probably the two busiest weeks of the year, definitely for the remainder of the year. A lot that could move the market, and we see that the VIX and the volatility index is at some recent highs because of this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the VIX this morning, I mean, it was much higher, pulling back a little bit this morning as high as 23. Right now, pulling back at 22, because, I mean, in addition to this, we also still have a busy earnings week this week. So, as we can see, we do have 110 stocks reporting earnings out of the S&P 500. So we have names like CVS, we have Marathon Petroleum, we have Cummins, we have Duke Energy. So we have Airbnb reporting earnings. So we have a little bit of mix this week. I mean, usually earnings are being kicked off by the financials, by the big banks. Then last week we had a very heavy tech week with Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google reporting earnings. This week, all across the board.
Yep, yep. So a bunch of stocks reporting, and you never know what's going to happen. Combined with the Fed and an election, we could be all over the place this week.
It's definitely, and this is why, I mean, on Friday, you mentioned it. I mean, traders were just nervous going long into this weekend, going long into this week where anything can happen. Now, the Fed, that is the most certainty we probably have of what they will do, because right now, I mean, Fed funds traders are expecting a 98.2% probability that the Fed will cut rates by a quarter percentage point. But now it's all about the wording and what Powell will say.
Exactly. So the decision and whether or not they'll keep the rates the same or increase rates. I mean that's pretty much a set in stone thing here, at least based on probabilities and what traders expect. So it's that wording. What comes next? Is the Fed concerned about the job situation, or are they comfortable with it? Are they insured or concerned about inflation creeping up again, or is that on track? What do they expect the next couple of months to show, and for the 2025 in general? And we see the probabilities at future meetings right there.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, highest probability, I mean, that we have a quarter percentage cut, and also very high probability, if these combine these two, of 80% that there will be another cut in December. And I mean, this is subject to change on Thursday after the statement and also after Powell grabs the mic during the press conference.
Exactly, could be fun.
Could be fun. All right. Then we do have some news today from some companies. I mean, first up, Berkshire Hathaway. Let me just get rid of the 50-day moving average here. BRK.A, Berkshire Hathaway. This morning, pulling back. Look at this, down 2.3%.
Wow, interesting to see that move. And I know that they reported third quarter earnings over the weekend. So one of the few companies that reports over the weekend, they do have a pretty big cash position there. I think maybe part of it is there was no buyback. They bought back 345 million in stock in the previous quarter, and there was no announcement of another buyback. A buyback will inflate the company's price because there are fewer shares outstanding, and so maybe some investors expected that. They also shared that they sold another piece of their Apple position.
Yeah, we'll take a look at Apple. But you see, I think in addition to the buyback is that the earnings, they had an earnings miss. And one of the reasons is if you're sitting on cash, I mean, yes, you're earning some interest, but this is not what people are expecting. Because if we look at this year, I mean, Berkshire Hathaway is outperforming the S&P 500 up. I mean, going into the weekend, up 25%. Right now, still up 22%. The S&P, on the other hand, right now up at 20%. So it was 20 to 25%. Now a little bit different. And yeah, it's exactly as you said. Warren Buffett just says, I'm sitting on cash. I don't see anything that I want to buy right now. And instead, you're right. He was selling his shares in Bank of America, ticker symbol BAC, and Apple. And so this is where this morning for Apple, not really good news. If Warren Buffett says, yeah, you know what, I'm done with it. They bounced back a little bit. So still down 0.5%. This morning, it looked a little bit uglier.
Yep.
All right, and then big news. I mean, if we just look at the heat map here, this is where we see Apple down a little bit. And then we see today what's outperforming. We have the energy sector because crude oil is up this morning. I mean, crude oil earlier this morning up almost 3%. Right now, still up 1.9%.
Yeah, flirting with the 71 mark, just shy of that right now. And that definitely helping some of the oil and gas stocks out there, some that we're in. But you saw the heat map there and oil and gas, big green patch on that heat map.
Right. The other big green one is Nvidia. Nvidia moving higher again today after great news for Nvidia this morning.
Yes, Nvidia on Friday, actually, late Friday, it was announced that they will be included in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the Dow 30, replacing Intel.
Jeez. Bad news for Intel. I mean, Intel this morning getting kicked out of the Dow and down 2.75%, while Nvidia, on the other hand, is up 2.75%. Well, right now, 2.1%, just a second ago. And drum roll, it finally happened, Mark. Look at this. With that news,
Wow.
Nvidia overtaking Apple as the largest American company by market capitalization, dethroning Apple, who has been reigning for years as the most valuable company. In fact, this is I refreshed it earlier this morning because I wanted to show that it did happen. But now, if you refresh it, I think they're still pulling a little bit further away, as we can see here. So it has happened. Apple lost its crown to Nvidia.
Look at that. Look at that. Well, speaking of losing its crown, did you see the other stock that is getting replaced in the Dow 30?
No. Which one?
Dow Inc. So
What?
it's getting replaced by Sherwin-Williams.
What? What?
Yeah, I was surprised by that.
Okay. Well, interesting a shakeup. We talked about it this morning with our mastermind members. I mean, I used to memorize the Dow 30 components, and right now it definitely looks different than it used to, right? I mean, right
Oh
now
yeah.
we do have companies like Salesforce in there. Where are they? CRM right here, right? I mean, Salesforce. ExxonMobil got kicked out of the Dow, so XOM no longer in there, or was it Chevron? No, Chevron is still in there.
Yeah, Chevron's in there.
Um,
XOM got replaced. Yep.
XOM. But now, yeah, we really look at this. We have the tech heavy companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. Now, Nvidia will be in there. Is the Dow turning into a mini NASDAQ? Because the interesting thing is the Dow is price weighted. So this means that the companies that have the highest price are actually weighted the most. But interesting how the Dow is changing.
Yep. Yep. And so set to be effective November 8th for Nvidia to replace Intel and for Sherwin-Williams to replace Dow Inc.
Gosh. All right. Let's take a look at our trades because there's a lot going on. First off, this morning we did have an exit signal in WTF, and this morning it was Honeywell, which we exited right at the open. For you, it was a small win. For
Yep.
me, it was a small loss because I entered like 50 cents above my exit. You got better fills on the entry and the exit, and therefore for you, it was a small win. For me, a small loss.
Yep. Small win for
All
me.
right. Then we still have 8 open trades here. And first up, CL, Colgate Palmolive. So trading below the 200-day moving average, we entered at 94.43. Right now, trading a dollar below. Nothing yet to do today. Just around the unchanged mark, down 0.1%. Duke Energy, which had a great day when the markets were crashing right now, as there's more Nvidia, more excitement in tech. Moving lower today, 0.4%. So nothing for us to do there. And then GE Aerospace. That's an interesting one. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, so this is one where we had an entry, but then added to it at 170.72. So uh, interesting to see how this is moving, and looking forward to a little more of a pop, so we get an exit.
Yeah, so our initial entry at 179.70. Our cost base is after the ad at 175.50. This morning trading at 173.29. But I mean, up a percent for the day. So I'll take this one. KO, good old Coca-Cola. Diddling along today, not much to do.
Yeah.
Approaching the 200-day moving average. Let's see if we can get a bounce off the 200-day moving average and then a move higher. And Met, MetLife. We entered again after we realized a loss on this one. We entered again at 78.45. Right now trading at 78.61, slightly up a 0.25% today.
Yeah, not too exciting there, but it's time.
Yeah. PG, Procter & Gamble, opening higher this morning, pulling back right now, trading right around the 200-day moving average, just crossed the 200-day moving average to the downside. So we'll see if we can bounce back because over the last 2 trading sessions, the 200-day moving average held. We entered at 165.37, 31. Right now at 164.73, down 50 cents on this stock. Not much to do. RTX Corporation, after having a bad day on Friday, today kind of stabilizing, hanging in there, and down
Yeah,
0.2%.
chopping around a little bit.
Chop around. But then Exxon. Hey, Exxon having a great day today, up 2.87%. As we said, oil and gas plays today are doing good. So we entered at 117.66, right now trading at 118.27. So up, around 60 cents, something like this. I'll take this one.
Yeah, looking pretty good after where it closed on Friday. On Friday, the earnings reaction was fantastic, but then sliding and pulling back. So nice to see this bounce back.
Yeah. All right. And then we had 3 new entry signals. 3 new entry signals. Mark, what did we start to do?
Yeah, so they all looked good. AMT, Apple, and then EXC. And I took Apple.
Yeah. Same here. We took Apple and we selected Apple mainly because right now we already have 8 open positions and we had a 5% add to one of the positions. So this kind of means that we are right now in 9 positions. We like to be at around 10 positions. And out of the 3 this morning, we chose Apple. So Apple making the 10th position here. Looking forward to a bounce back. And so far, so good. I mean, we entered at 220.99. Right now, it's trading at 220. No, actually, I entered at 221.65. Right now, trading 20 cents above. I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right. Hopping over to the wheel, and we have a lot going on there. So, first up, CSIQ, little buddy. I mean, look at this today. Friday, CSIQ had a great day. Friday, finishing higher, 6%. This morning, opening higher. And at first, it was up and away. Right now, pulling back a little bit, but still up 4.75%. Loving this move.
Yeah. That keep going. Headed in the right direction.
Yeah, it seems that right now there's a battle around the 16. So break through the 16, and then I think the next price target could be 20.
Love it.
All right. So then we also have BP. That is a trade that you're in. And BP looking good this morning. Let's see, where is our live data? Should be coming up here in a second. And BP up 1.9%.
Yeah. And just keep going, fill that gap, and let's go.
Yeah. HL, Halliburton here, the same. I mean, Halliburton found some nice support right around 27.50. Up this morning, 1.4%. So after making a triple bottom, let's go up and away towards our break even at 31.79. And then let's see if we can sell some calls here sometime soon. All right, KSS, Coles right now, trading at the lower edge of the range that we have established here over the last, almost 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. Anyhow, trading right there, nothing for me to do right now. Waiting for it to push a little bit higher. I mean, again, made around $17,000 in realized profits by selling premium. I'm okay with this one. And then there's Merck. Merck had a strong earnings reaction to the downside. Seems to be stabilizing right now at around 102. So Merck, right now, let me just show you which is the way to go right here. So let's see, what does a V-shaped V-shaped recovery look like? Let's do that. All right, finally, Mark, UPS. What do you think about UPS?
UPS. Yeah. Come on, UPS.
That's all you got for UPS?
Yeah. No, it opened higher, and it looked like it's kind of trading in that channel right now, kind of near that lower part of the channel. But you could do it, UPS. You could do it.
You can do it. Come on, keep moving higher. And then also you entered ON last week, ON Semiconductors. And you sold puts at what level?
I sold the 67.
There you go. Perfect. Right now trading at 71. So looking good. Expiring on Friday. We'll see what happens.
Yep, about 56% locked in right now.
56% of max profits. All right. Good. Good. All right. So it is interesting, and we'll take a look at the 5-minute chart in the S&P 500 here in just a moment to see what's happening going into election day tomorrow. But first, Mark, what is the joke of the day? What do you got for us today?
Well, Markus, last week I saw former President Donald Trump hopping on a garbage truck, and I there's a little known fact here that I thought of. Did you know that being a garbage collector is one of the hardest jobs out there? And it's because there's absolutely no training. They just pick things up as they go along.
Okay. All right. So this morning, I want to do something different. I have a riddle for you. Let's see if you get it. Okay. So let me show you the riddle. So it starts off with, it's a little bit cut off, but it says, It's all part of my. So let's see. What do we have here? What is the first picture? First picture is
What singer? But I can't. What are the words? I can't read that.
Oh, it says it's all part of my. Let's take a look at this. The first picture here. So this picture. What is this?
Stone, rock.
It's a rock, right? What is this?
Okay, okay. Bread or biscuit?
Or you would call it a
No.
Hawaiian.
Roll. Okay.
A roll, okay. And then you have, what is this in the lower corner?
Fanta or orange?
Fanta, okay, perfect.
Okay.
And then what is this? What is the
Ocean.
Ocean, okay. And instead of ocean, you could also say
Sea.
good. Okay. So it's all part of my. Come on.
Rock and roll fantasy.
And roll fantasy.
All right, all right.
Come on.
See, I heard, Marcus, I already mentioned that I didn't get the best night's sleep, so I'm not fired on all cylinders. Normally, I would give you a run for your money on that one, but okay, all right, that's fun.
I mean,
You got me in
great.
week 8.
All right. Let's go back
That
to
works.
the work. What do you see?
That's fun.
It's
All right, it's all part of my
rock and roll fantasy. Okay.
All right.
Back to the markets and looking at what's happening here. So we do see the S&P 500 right now. Let me just see. I need to probably refresh this really quick. So 5-minute chart. We are just diddling along. Nothing happening here. Barely positive for the day. Up 1 point. The NASDAQ up 30 points. Up 0.17%. The Dow down 0.242. Trading at session lows right now. And then we also have the Russell, the clear winner this morning, up 1.1%, trading at session highs. And the VIX, the fear index, after spiking this morning to above 23, right now trading below 22. I mean, Mark, this week there will not be a dull moment.
Oh, absolutely. So a lot that can move the market, and there's indecision because there's uncertainty. Gosh, looking forward to a great week of trading.
Yeah, absolutely. And you want to make sure that you don't want to miss it. So hit subscribe, hit the little notification bell. This way you get notified whenever we go live. If you enjoyed today's video, give us a like. Really appreciate this. If you like how Mark solved the riddle, give us a like again and leave a comment and say, good job, Mark, because he did a great job there. Great job. And if you feel that this was great stuff worth sharing, there's a share button somewhere here. Please feel free to share it. We really appreciate it. And with that said, we'll see you again tomorrow.
Happy trading, everybody.